Hi there. This video shows you how to create such a website with venues and events out of JSON data. The JSON data for the venues and the events are in two JSON feeds like this. This is the venue feed with several venues like Marienplatz and Olympic Park in Munich. And on the other hand, the JSON feed with events on these venues. These events and the venues are connected. So for example, if you have a look at one event, you see that this event is happening at one venue. So both JSON feeds are connected. And this video shows how to put this together with the JSON-Content-Importer Pro plugin for WordPress and the Toolset plugins, also very useful for WordPress. What do you need for that? You need the JSON-Content-Importer Pro, at least in the version 3.5.3. You need the Toolset block and Toolset types plugin. These are plugins from the company called On The Go Systems. It's a toolset with plugins that you can put together the data from custom post types and custom posts for real nice websites. So the basic idea of this combination of plugins is that the JSON-Content-Importer Pro fills custom post types with data, and these custom posts are used by Toolset to create pages we saw in the beginning of this video. In the Toolset custom post types, you can define relations. For example, a venue ID is in the list of the venues. Each venue has an unique ID, and this venue ID is also used in the list of the events, so you have a connections between an event and a venue. The built end-to-end Toolset custom post relationships plugin is able to connect these custom posts, and the data is in the custom posts. So if you use that, we see that later you can create these relations you have to otherwise create manually. Besides the toolset, the JSON-Content-Importer Pro and the Build End-to-End Toolset plugin, you can also use the Get URL Cron plugin. With that, you can update the data every time you want by using a cron job, which is executing the JSON-Content-Importer Pro import of JSON API data to custom posts. You can also use pods and advanced custom fields. These tools are also very handy tools for creating or enhancing custom post types, and you can also use Elementor for using custom post type data. But we focus here on toolset types, toolset blocks, and the import of the JSON-Content-Importer Pro and the building of the relations. Let's have a closer look at the JSON. This is the JSON for the venues. We have 6 venues, and the data inside any item of this JSON is on the one hand the idea of the venue, the name of the venue, latitude and longitude, some extra info, and an URL to the image of this venue. The JSON for the events looks similar. We have 8 events, and inside this item of an event, it's an event idea. It's time and date when the event with this name is happening. We have the venue idea, some group name, and a description. So we have some data on 8 events on 6 venues. And this data we want to import into custom posts in the WordPress by the JSON-Content-Importer Pro. The next question is, where should we put this data? To define custom post types, we use the Toolset types plugin. We can also use the pods plugin or the advanced custom post fields plugin to create custom posts, but here we stick to the custom post types defined by Toolset to use it later with the Toolset blocks. So we need 2 custom post types, one for events and one for the venues. The Toolset dashboard gives you all information about its custom post types. I've defined here 2 custom post types, one for events and one for venues. You can define the custom fields, taxonomies. You can define a template. This defines how a single page of this custom post type looks like, and you can also define archive and forms. We focus here on the custom fields and the templates and how the post type is defined. Clicking on the post types gives you basic information about this custom post types. The key is here for our purpose the slug. It's here called Toolset Events. So this is referenced later when importing data to this kind of custom post type. If we have a look at the custom fields for events are defined according to the JSON we got. We pick data out of the JSON, and here is also, for example, for local time, it's a field slug. It's here called TS for toolset, local time. And later on, we match this slug with the JSON field. So the JsonContentImporter Pro will get the JSON field called local time, and we'll find custom post fields here in this custom post type for the event, and we'll put the data into the custom post field at TS local time. So we can pick data out of the JSON, transform it. We can import here it twice or 3 times, whatever you like. So in the end, we have data in the custom post fields. We now check if we have access to the JSON, to the API. In detail here for the JSON of the 6 venues, we take this URL to the template manager of the JsonContentImporter Pro template manager. I created here a template number 1, and in this template I inserted the URL, this URL from ap.jsoncontentimporter.com we can use for this example, and we might switch on the debug mode and have some twig code. The twig code here is looping through any venue and give out the venue ID and the name and the image, etc. And if I store this in this template, I can use this template in an ordinary page. It's here, it's a block with a shortcode. The shortcode is JsonContentImporter Pro, ID is 1, and it's a basic API JSON access. And if I preview this page, this gives me the data from the JSON. It's the ID, the name of the venue, some details on the venue, and the images. So we now know we have access to the JSON, to the API. In some cases, many APIs, whatever, have some authentication, so you might have to check what authentication you have to use here. In the template manager, you can switch the method you use. We have here the WordPress get method. You can also switch to the curl get, add some curl options with the header, etc. So this is a bit tricky sometimes, but if you have access to the JSON, you can work with it. Our challenge is now to fill such a custom post type here with the fields for the venue, the name, and the ID with data. This is done by enhancing the JsonContentImporter Pro shortcode by 2 parameters. One is mode equals create. This tells the plugin to switch to the create mode, creating custom posts. And the other parameter is create options. Create options is JSON encoded information. There with several fields. There are placeholders like hash BRO hash. BRO stands for bracket open and bracket close, because the square brackets are already in use by the shortcode, so you can't use it in this JSON notation as real square brackets. You have to use a placeholder. So in this create options, we have several fields. The first field is loop. Loop should tell the plugin where to loop in the JSON. So let's have a look at the JSON. The 6 values from 0 to 5 are starting right at the root of the JSON, so we don't have to have any additional information for the plugin where to start. It can be left blank, so the plugin knows start at the root. If an array or so, which should be used for the creation of custom post types, you have to insert here the path to this array. Next thing is the title. The title is the title of the then generated custom post. It's the title of as post or page. Slug name is the URL which is created for the custom post. Here we have it venue as a constant and the name of the venue. Delete old tells the plugin, if it's set to yes, that it should delete all previous generated custom posts when we reload this plugin, this shortcode, when we want to update the data. And in the field CPT for custom post types is the information decoded for the custom posts. There's a key. This key should be unique for all venues here, for all custom post types. This key is also used when deleting or updating it. If delete old is yes, the plugin is searching for all custom posts with this key and deletes those and creates new ones with this key. The slug inside this field custom post type is different to the slug name. The slug here is the name of the toolset generated custom post type. So if you at the dashboard of the toolset, you can check what the name is of the custom post type and insert it here. It's here cpt-toolset-venue. And the last field here is matches, which means how to match the custom post fields and the JSON. Here, venue ID is the name set in the toolset custom post type definition, and venue ID is the path to the JSON in the data. And with this data, with this shortcode, the plugin knows how to create and where to create new custom post types. When previewing this page, the JSON-Content-Importer plugin first tries to delete previous generated custom posts. There are none, so we can start looping through the JSON and generating one custom post after another. In the end, we get 6 custom posts for the venues. Inside these custom posts, we have here a venue ID as we defined in the shortcode, and there's some content, and having a preview on the page on this slug, it's venue Hellebrun Zoo. We get the page. There are not many content there, but we will improve that. The basic thing is that we were successful in generating 6 custom posts, and we now can enhance the shortcode. Before that, if you have any problems with the URL here, with the slug, if you get a page not found page or something, most of the time it's very helpful to reread the Permalink settings. Just select here post name and make save changes, and most of the times this is solving the problem with the slug, and the page is found by the defined URL, by the defined slug. Here we see one of the custom posts. The content is not very clear what this should be there. We have to have a closer look at this. When we have created the custom post, we use the content importer ID template with #1. The #1 template is using this JSON. It's the loop and with the venue data, 6 venues, and it's using this twig. This twig thinks, okay, we have the full JSON from 0 to 5 and loops through it. And in generating the custom posts, the twig comes along another JSON. It comes along only this item of a venue JSON. I changed the twig by removing the loop and just having it for this item of the loop. And if doing this and storing this and reloading and recreating the custom posts, I get different content here with the data from the JSON and in the end real content on the custom post. Now enhance the shortcode. One new field is the minimum CPT to create, here set to 2. If the JSON only gives us one item, one venue, the plugin would not delete the old previous generated custom posts and would not create new ones, as 2 says here at least 2 venues, 2 items in the JSON have to be there. If, for example, the API gives us an invalid answer, this field would protect the previous generated custom posts for generating new invalid ones. Another new field is the required fields, here set to venue.name. The venue.name field has to be in the item inside the loop. If this field is not there, also the plugin would not delete the old ones and generate new ones. This is also a security field to be safe that the API gives us valid JSON with the real data. There's also a new field called featured image. With this you can define an URL out of the JSON, here venue.image, as featured image. Later on, the featured image of the custom post will be this venue.image URL. And in the matches for the custom post fields, there are several new ones and an additional one from the advanced custom fields. At the advanced custom fields, I defined a field called ACF venue ID, valid for the venue custom post type. And by adding this just to the matches JSON with the venue ID, we expect that in this advanced custom field, venue ID field, there should be a venue ID. In this way, you must not stick to the toolset custom post types. You also can use advanced custom post fields for ordinary pages or posts or pods. This is also possible. But at the end, we want to display the custom posts and using their toolset. So here we stick to the toolset plugin suite. Now we have a custom post with all the data in the content, in the toolset fields, and in the advanced custom fields. With the JSON from the events, I did quite the same as with the venues. I created several custom posts, and inside these custom posts are also the JSON data. So we have here 2 custom posts, one for events and one for venues. Now the job for the JSON-Content-Importer Pro plugin is done. In the remaining part of this video, I show you how to use the custom post types together with the Toolset Blocks plugin and a plugin built Toolset-Relations to display the data as you have seen in the beginning of the video. With Toolset-Relationships, you can connect two custom post types, here venues and events. I did this. The connecting key there is the venue ID, as any event needs a venue, and at venues several events will happen. If you have a look at one of the venues, there's a relation up there, and the goal now is to have here the events happening at this venue. To do this, we use the build TS relations plugin. This plugin is available on JsonContentImporter.com, and with that you can first select what toolset relation we want to use. I select the one I created for the events and venues, and out of this events and venues custom post types, it offers us the custom field and the taxonomies, and here we select the ID of a venue and the venue ID. These are the keys, the connecting keys for this information. Saving this stores the information that we use this relation with this connecting keys, and if we execute it, we have in the end here the relations. There are 3 events at the museum and 1 at the other events. A reload on this custom post shows us that there is now a relation to the event. So we have a venue with a relation to event, and if I switch to the event custom post, this shows us that there is a venue as the relation. Now I show you how to display the custom posts for events and venues. For that I created an ordinary page overview for events and an overview for the venues. The events overview should look like this. It's a search and a sorting option there, and the list of the events with a link to the details on this event. To create such a page, we have the ordinary page. It's overview events, and in this page we add blocks provided by the Toolset Blocks plugin. This looks like that. So in detail I will add a URL to YouTube videos from Toolset, the company who is providing these features, which show how to add blocks and what's the details of the blocks. So we have here a search area, and there we have the list of the events. You have to connect it to the custom posts, so you can create such a page looking like this. Quite similar, the overview page for the venues is created. We have here the 6 venues, and each venue is displayed with the featured image, text, and a link to more details on that venue. Toolset here is built in this way that we have to use one item of the list of the venues, and in this item the blueprint for all others are defined. And here you can add or remove fields from the custom post. Creating a page for the single custom posts like this with the data from the event and the venue of this event pulled by the relation is quite similar. In the dashboard for the toolset, you have here a section area, and you can define here the view of a single event and a single venue. This is the view of this custom post type. There you also use the toolset blocks for creating it. You can have a block or a view with the date and the time given by the custom post and the relation where this event happens. Last but not least, I show you how to update the custom posts. If the data in the JSON in the API changes, you want to update your custom posts. This can be done either manually or by a cron job. For the cron job, I recommend the Get URL Cron Jobs plugin. I created especially for this purpose to execute shortcodes or URLs. It's free, available in the WordPress.org repository. Calling the venue URL for generating the new updated custom post types is here done with an additional get parameter. It's here sec equal password and the same as the events. The sec password is defined in the shortcode. This is another parameter for the JsonContentImporter Pro plugin shortcode. If you here define secret, you have to use it when calling this via in URL like this in the cron job. Otherwise, if this password can't be provided, the execution of the JsonContentImporter Pro shortcode would not happen. In the Get URL Cron Jobs plugin, you can define how often a job is executed, when the first run should be. You can also define the numbers of retries if you want to have it a second or a third one. This might be interesting if you deal with large amounts of data, like thousands of custom posts. You can define what input should be there, if it's a string or a JSON, and if it's a JSON, you can define a required JSON field, so to be sure that the API delivers valid JSON. And in the end, you can also check this field for getting emails if a job is executed. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this is helpful for you in importing JSON data from an API to custom posts and display these custom posts with Toolset. So this is an option for you to have great content on your website. Thanks a lot. Again, take care and enjoy.